There are moments in life when everything feels different, when you sense that something bigger is happening behind the scenes. Not everyone will understand it, and not everyone is meant to. Out of many, only a few are set apart, chosen for a purpose that goes beyond the ordinary. If you are hearing this message, it is not by accident. There is a reason you feel the way you do, a reason you've walked through certain struggles, and a reason you're still standing. Pay close attention, because this is for the few, and you might be one of them. From the very beginning, your life has never followed the same path as everyone else's. While others seem to move in predictable directions, you often found yourself pulled away, redirected, or even removed from situations you thought you were meant to stay in. It may have felt confusing at times, even painful, watching people walk away or opportunities close without clear explanation. But what you didn't realize then is that this was not rejection, it was protection and separation for a higher purpose. Being separated is not easy. It can feel lonely, like you don't fully belong anywhere. You may have tried to fit in, to think like others, act like others, or live the way they do, but something inside you never allowed you to fully settle. That inner discomfort is not a flaw, it is a sign. It's a quiet reminder that your path is different, that you are not meant to blend in with the crowd. You are being shaped for something specific, something that requires you to stand apart. There were moments when you questioned yourself deeply. You may have wondered why relationships didn't last, why certain doors kept closing, or why people misunderstood you. But every disconnection served a purpose. Every delay was intentional. You were being guided away from environments and influences that could have distracted you from your calling. What felt like loss was actually alignment. What looked like setbacks were silent attractions, placing you exactly where you needed to be. Separation also builds strength. When you don't have constant validation from others, you are forced to develop something deeper within yourself. You begin to rely less on external approval and more on inner conviction. You start to hear a different voice guiding you, one that leads you toward growth, discipline, and purpose. This process isn't comfortable, but it is necessary. It's preparing you to carry something greater than what most people are entrusted with. You were never meant to follow the noise of the world. While many chase temporary success or approval, your journey is about something lasting and meaningful. That's why distractions fall away from your life more easily, even when you try to hold on to them. There is a higher standard placed on you, not to burden you, but to prepare you. So if you've ever felt set apart, misunderstood, or alone, understand this clearly. It is not by accident. You are being refined, positioned, and prepared. Your separation is not a sign that something is wrong with you, it is proof that something is different about you. And that difference is exactly what will lead you into the purpose you were created for. And that difference is exactly what will lead you into the purpose you were created for. But that purpose could never be carried by the same version of you that existed before the trials began. This is why your struggles were never meaningless. Every challenge you faced, every moment that tested your patience, your strength, and your faith, was shaping you into someone capable of handling what is ahead. There were seasons when nothing made sense. You gave your best and still faced disappointment. You trusted people and still experienced betrayal. You prayed for things to work out, yet everything seemed to fall apart instead. In those moments, it was easy to believe you were being punished or forgotten. But in reality, something deeper was happening within you. Character was being refined in ways that comfort could never achieve. Struggles have a way of revealing what is truly inside a person. When everything is going well, it's easy to feel confident and secure. But when things fall apart, that's when your real strength is built. You were being taught resilience, how to stand when everything around you feels unstable. You were being taught patience, how to wait without losing faith. You were being taught discernment, how to recognize what belongs in life and what does not. Every hardship carried a lesson, even if you couldn't see it at the time. The delays taught you timing. The losses taught you value. The pain taught you depth. And the moments you felt like giving up taught you endurance. None of it was random. None of it was wasted. It was all preparing you for a level of responsibility influence, or purpose that requires strength most people never develop. You may have noticed that after everything you've been through, you're not the same person anymore. Your mindset has changed. Your tolerance for negativity has decreased. You see things more clearly now, and you don't easily fall for what once distracted you. That transformation didn't come from ease, it came from pressure. Pressure that shaped you, strengthened you, and made you more aware of who you are becoming. Even the moments that broke you emotionally were part of the process. They softened your heart in some ways and strengthened it in others. They taught you understanding and depth, while also building boundaries and wisdom. You are now able to carry both strength and awareness at the same time, and that balance is powerful. So when you look back at your struggles, don't see them as signs of failure. See them as evidence of preparation. You were being built in private for something that will eventually be revealed in the open. What felt like your lowest points were actually the foundation being laid for your highest purpose. What felt like your lowest points were actually the foundation being laid for your highest purpose. And as that foundation became stronger, something else began to grow within you, a deep awareness that you don't see the world the same way others do. You started noticing that your thoughts, your reactions, and even your desires began to shift. Things that once excited you no longer hold the same power, and conversations that once felt normal now seem empty or draining. This is not something to fear. It is a sign that you are being called into a different level of understanding. You feel different because your perspective is changing. While many people are focused only on what is visible, you are becoming sensitive to what is unseen. You begin to sense intentions, to recognize patterns, and to question things more deeply. This awareness can sometimes make you feel out of place, especially in environments where others are comfortable staying surface level. You may have even tried to ignore it, silence that inner voice just so you could fit in again. But it never fully goes away. There is a reason for that. When you are called for something greater, your mindset cannot remain ordinary. You are being trained to see beyond distractions, beyond temporary pleasures, and beyond illusions that keep others stuck. This shift can create distance between you and people around you, not because you are better than them, but because your path requires a different level of focus and understanding. Not everyone is meant to walk that same path with you. At times, this can feel isolating. You may sit in a room full of people and still feel alone, not because you lack connection, but because your spirit is no longer aligned with certain energies or conversations. You begin to value peace more than noise, purpose more than popularity, and truth more than comfort. These changes are not accidental. They are shaping you into someone who can lead, guide, or influence in ways that require clarity and depth. You might also notice that your intuition has become stronger. You sense when something is right or wrong without needing proof. You feel warnings before situations unfold, and you recognize opportunities before they fully appear. This isn't luck, it's awareness being sharpened through your journey. The same struggles that once confused you are now giving you insight. The same pain that once slowed you down is now helping you move with wisdom. Being called means you are no longer living on autopilot. You are becoming intentional with your choices, careful with your energy, and selective with your environment. This doesn't mean your journey will always be easy, but it does mean it will be meaningful. You are stepping into a level where your actions carry more weight, where your decisions shape not just your life but potentially the lives of others. So if you've been feeling different, understand that this is not something to hide or suppress. It is something to recognize and embrace. That difference is not distance from purpose, it is evidence that you are moving closer to it, step by step, even when the path is not fully clear yet. That difference is not distance from purpose, it is evidence that you are moving closer to it, step by step, even when the path is not fully clear yet. And as you move closer, you may notice another shift happening in your life, periods of silence and isolation that you didn't choose, but somehow found yourself in. These are the moments that can feel the heaviest, because everything slows down. The noise fades, the distractions disappear, and you are left alone with your thoughts. At first, this kind of isolation can feel uncomfortable. You might wonder why people are becoming distant, why invitations are fewer, or why you no longer feel connected to places you once enjoyed. It can feel like you are being pulled away from everything familiar. But this is not emptiness, it is intentional space being created in your life, space where growth can happen without interference. Silence has a purpose that most people overlook. When life is loud, it is easy to get lost in other people's opinions, expectations, and energy. But in silence, clarity begins to form. You start hearing your own thoughts more clearly. You begin to understand what truly matters to you, without outside influence shaping your decisions. This is where real alignment begins. Isolation is often where transformation becomes deepest. Without constant validation or distraction, you are forced to face yourself, your fears, your habits, your patterns. This is not always easy, but it is necessary. You begin to let go of what no longer serves you. You break cycles that once controlled you. You become more disciplined, more aware, and more intentional with how you live your life. There is also protection in isolation. Not every environment is meant to carry you into your next level. Not every person can understand where you are going. By stepping away, even when it feels forced, you are being shielded from influences that could slow down your progress. What feels like being left out is often being set apart for something more focused and meaningful. During these quiet seasons, your strength grows in ways that are not always visible. You learn how to stand on your own, how to trust your direction, and how to build confidence without needing constant reassurance. You develop patience, because not everything happens immediately. Develop faith, because you continue moving forward, even when you cannot see the full picture. It's also in these moments that your vision begins to sharpen. Without distractions, you start to recognize what you truly want, what you're meant to do, and what no longer fits into your life. Ideas become clearer, goals become more defined, and even though the journey may still feel uncertain, you begin to sense that you are being prepared for something that requires focus and inner strength. If you find yourself in a season of silence or isolation, don't rush to escape it. Don't mistake it for being forgotten or left behind. There is work being done within you that cannot happen in a crowded or noisy environment. This is where you are being refined, strengthened, and aligned. What feels quiet now is actually building something powerful within you, something that will speak louder than words when the time comes. What feels quiet now is actually building something powerful within you, something that will speak louder than words when the time comes. And that time is not as far away as it once felt. After the separation, the struggles, the transformation, and the silence, there comes a moment when everything begins to shift. It may not happen all at once, but you will start to notice it: small signs, new opportunities, unexpected clarity. This is where your purpose begins to reveal itself. For a long time, you were being prepared behind the scenes. It felt hidden, like your efforts weren't being recognized, like your growth was happening in private with no visible result. But that hidden phase had a purpose. Not everything is meant to be seen while it is being built. Some things need time to develop strength before they are exposed. And now, you are stepping into a phase where what has been built within you starts to show outwardly. You may begin to feel a stronger sense of direction. Decisions that once confused you now feel clearer. Paths that once seemed certain now start to make sense. This doesn't mean everything will suddenly become easy, but it does mean you are no longer walking without awareness. You are moving with intention, guided by everything you have learned through your journey. Opportunities may appear in unexpected ways. Doors that were once closed may open, or entirely new paths may present themselves. What's important is that you recognize these moments, because when your purpose begins to reveal itself, it doesn't always come with loud announcements. Sometimes it shows up quietly as a new idea, a new connection, or a sudden realization that changes how you see your future. At the same time, there will be a need for courage. Stepping into your purpose often requires you to move beyond your comfort zone. You may have to leave behind what feels safe in order to pursue what feels right. This is where everything you have been through begins to make sense. The strength you built during your struggles, the clarity you gained in isolation, and the awareness you developed along the way. All of it comes together to support you in this moment. You will also notice a shift in your confidence. Not the kind that seeks approval, but a quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are and what you carry. You no longer need to prove yourself to everyone. You understand your value, and that understanding allows you to move forward without hesitation. This stage is not about becoming someone new. It's about fully stepping into who you have been becoming all along. Everything you experienced was leading you here. Nothing was wasted. Every delay, every challenge, every quiet moment was part of the process that prepared you for this exact season. So as things begin to unfold, pay attention, stay grounded, continue to grow. Because what is ahead of you is not random, it is the result of everything you have endured and everything you have become. Your purpose is no longer something distant or unclear. It is beginning to take shape right in front of you, one step at a time.